Hi everyone, this video is to show you how you can use z-scores to find outliers among your data set. So when we're dealing with z-scores, we're looking at a normal distribution and what parts of your data or what data points fall within that normal distribution. So we're looking at our mean and how many standard deviations away from the mean each data point is. So the pieces of information that you need to calculate z-scores would be your data points. So we're going to use number of players per game like we've done before. And then you need to have your mean and your standard deviation, which we have from previous videos. So what we're looking for is a z-score between -3 and +3, because that means that that data point is within that normal distribution. Because a normal distribution is your mean and then 3 standard deviations out. So to figure out how, or to calculate your z-scores in Excel, you can either use the function builder, and it'll pop up with a search function, and you're going to search for standardize. Depending on if you have a Mac or a PC, the formula builder looks a little different, but you can still search for standardize. I'm just going to type mine in. So equals, and we're going to say standardize. And then you can see that I have X, mean, standard deviation. So we need to click X would be our data point. And we are not going to absolute reference the data point because we're going to fill this formula down and we want that to change. We want it to go from the White Sox to the Indians to the Tigers to the Royals to the Twins and so on and so forth. Then we put a comma behind that, and now we need to go find our mean, which we have down here at the bottom. So for the mean, it's 45.4. Now H38, we do want to absolute reference. So we want to get those dollar signs in there. You can do that by hitting either F4 or function F4, depending on your keyboard. And then the last thing we need is our standard deviation, which is 4.3. And again, we want to absolute reference that because when we are filling down our formula, we don't want our cells that have the mean and standard deviation to change. We always want to come back to those two numbers. And then we close our formula and hit return. And you'll see that our first data point is 6/10, which means it's just a little bit above the mean, which we know our mean is 45.4, so that makes sense. Now we fill it down. So after filling down, again, what we're looking for is those numbers that are above 3 and below -3. So if we look through our data points, our set, we've got one right there that's just over 3, or a little bit over 3, 3.6. And the rest of them all look good. So it looks like we have one outlier in this data set, and that would be the Miami Marlins because they used 61 players. So that one data point will fall outside of the normal distribution. And if we look back to the box and whisker plot that we created a long time ago, feels like, you can see that we had one data point that fell outside of the box and whisker plot. So that one point up here also represents that 61, which looking at the z-scores is our 61 for our Miami Marlins. So both the box and whisker plot and the z-score was able to help us identify that outlier. Have a great day.